Have you ever noticed how some people seem to age like fine wine, getting better with time? It's not just genetics or luck. It's often the little choices they make every day, especially when it comes to what they eat. I'm going to let you in on something that might surprise you. Food isn't just fuel for your body, it's medicine. And if you're looking to live a long, vibrant life filled with energy and joy, then paying attention to what you put on your plate is one of the smartest things you can do. Today, we're diving into the top 5 foods that science says can help you live longer and healthier. But this isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. Because let's face it, at our age, quality matters as much as quantity. Over the course of this video series, we'll explore these foods in detail, talk about why they're so powerful, and share easy ways to incorporate them into your daily routine. By the end, you'll have a toolbox of tips to help you feel great and thrive well into your golden years. Let's start with the first food on our list, something many of us already love but may not realize just how good it is for us: berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, they're all tiny powerhouses packed with antioxidants. Now you might be wondering, what exactly are antioxidants? Think of them as the superheroes of the nutrition world. They fight off free radicals, those pesky molecules that can damage your cells and contribute to aging and disease. Berries are particularly rich in a type of antioxidant called flavonoids, which have been linked to improved brain health, better heart function, and even reduced inflammation. Here's the best part: you don't need to overhaul your entire diet to reap the benefits. A handful of fresh berries sprinkled over your morning oatmeal or blended into a smoothie can make a big difference. And if fresh berries aren't always available, frozen ones work just as well. In fact, freezing locks in their nutrients, so you're still getting all the goodness. Now, before we move on, take a moment to think about how often you include berries in your meals. If it's not very often, no worries, this is your chance to start small. Maybe swap out that sugary dessert for a bowl of mixed berries tonight. Or try making a berry compote to drizzle over yogurt. Little changes like these add up over time, and trust me, your body will thank you. Speaking of gratitude, did you know that nuts are another fantastic food for longevity? Almonds, walnuts, pistachios, they're all nutrient-dense gems that support heart health, brain function, and even weight management. Nuts are loaded with healthy fats, fiber, and protein, making them a satisfying snack that keeps you full longer. Plus, studies show that people who eat nuts regularly tend to live longer than those who don't. Isn't that amazing? But here's the catch: you want to enjoy them in moderation because they're also calorie-dense. A small handful, about a quarter cup, is plenty. You can toss them into salads, sprinkle them over roasted vegetables, or simply munch on them as a mid-afternoon pick-me-up. One of my favorite tricks is to keep a jar of mixed nuts on the counter, so they're always within reach when hunger strikes. Before we go any further, I'd love to ask you a quick question. When was the last time you treated yourself to a handful of nuts instead of reaching for chips or cookies? If it's been a while, maybe today is the day to give it a try. Your heart and your waistline will appreciate it. Oh, and by the way, if you're finding these tips helpful and want more practical advice like this, please consider subscribing to our channel. When you subscribe, you'll get notified whenever we post new videos about staying healthy, active, and happy as you age. It's like having a friendly guide right there with you on your journey. Plus, if you hit that like button and share this video with a friend, you'll be helping others discover these simple yet powerful ways to boost their well-being. Alright, now that we've covered berries and nuts, let's talk about something else that belongs on your longevity menu: leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, they're nutritional rock stars that deserve a spot on your plate. These veggies are loaded with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that support everything from bone health to immune function. And guess what? They are incredibly versatile. Whether you sauté them, steam them, or blend them into a smoothie, there's no wrong way to enjoy them. In fact, I remember hearing a story about a woman in her late 70s who started incorporating more greens into her diet after reading about their benefits. Within months, she noticed she had more energy, her skin looked brighter, and she felt lighter overall. She told me, "It's like I've rediscovered myself." Stories like hers remind me that it's never too late to make positive changes. So, as we wrap up this segment, I encourage you to think about how you can bring more leafy greens into your meals. Maybe whip up a spinach omelet tomorrow morning, or toss some arugula into your lunch salad. Every bite counts, and each step you take brings you closer to feeling your best. Next, we'll dive deeper into 2 more foods that are absolute game changers for longevity. We'll also share some creative ideas for preparing them and talk about how they fit into a balanced diet. Stick around, you won't want to miss it. Alright, let's pick up where we left off. We've already talked about the incredible benefits of berries, nuts, and leafy greens, foods that are not only delicious, but also packed with nutrients to help you live a longer, healthier life. Now, it's time to explore 2 more foods that deserve a place on your longevity menu. These next picks might surprise you because they're often overlooked, but trust me, their impact is anything but small. The first one, beans. Yes, humble beans. Those little legumes you might have grown up eating or perhaps pushed to the side of your plate as a kid. Well, it turns out Mom was right all along. Beans are a nutritional powerhouse, loaded with fiber, protein, and essential minerals like magnesium and potassium. And here's the kicker. Studies show that people who eat beans regularly tend to live longer and have a lower risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes. Now I know what some of you might be thinking, beans. Really? Aren't they just boring? Oh my friend, beans are anything but boring once you know how to use them. They are incredibly versatile and can be added to soups, stews, salads, even mashed into dips like hummus. One of my personal favorites is tossing chickpeas with a little olive oil, garlic, and spices, then roasting them in the oven until they're crispy. It's an easy snack that satisfies cravings without the guilt. And here's a fun fact, beans are great for your gut health too. The fiber in beans acts as food for the good bacteria in your digestive system, helping keep everything running smoothly. As we get older, maintaining a healthy gut becomes even more important because it plays such a big role in our overall well-being. So think of beans as your gut's best friend, a friendship that pays dividends in energy, immunity, and vitality. Before we move on, take a moment to reflect on how often beans show up in your meals. If they are not a regular guest at your table, maybe this is the week to invite them back. Start simple, add a can of black beans to your taco night, or throw some kidney beans into your soup. Small steps like these can make a world of difference over time. Speaking of differences, let's talk about another unsung hero of longevity, fatty fish. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, they're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial for heart and brain health. Omega-3s help reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and support cognitive function. And let's face it, keeping our minds sharp is just as important as staying physically fit, especially as we age. But here's the thing about fatty fish, it doesn't have to be fancy or expensive to be beneficial. Canned salmon or sardines are budget-friendly options that still pack a powerful nutritional punch. You can flake canned salmon into a salad, mix it with Greek yogurt for a creamy dip, or pile it onto whole grain crackers for a quick snack. Sardines, meanwhile, are delicious straight out of the tin, paired with a slice of whole grain toast and a squeeze of lemon. I'll never forget a conversation I had with a gentleman in his 80s who swore by his daily serving of sardines. He told me they're cheap, they're easy, and they keep me going strong. Coming from someone who still hikes 3 miles every morning, I'd say he knows what he's talking about. Of course, if you're not a fan of fish, don't worry. There are plant-based sources of omega-3s like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts. But if you do enjoy seafood, try to aim for at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week. Your heart and brain will thank you. At this point, you might be wondering how to tie all these foods together into meals that are both nutritious and satisfying. That's where creativity comes in. For example, imagine starting your day with a spinach omelet sprinkled with walnuts, followed by a lunch of mixed greens topped with chickpeas and a dollop of salmon salad. Dinner could be a hearty bean chili served with a side of roasted vegetables. See how it all starts to flow? The key is variety, mixing and matching these foods in ways that excite your taste buds while nourishing your body. By the way, if you're enjoying this conversation and learning new ideas to boost your health, I'd love for you to join our community by subscribing to the channel. When you subscribe, you'll get access to more tips, recipes, and inspiration to help you thrive at any age. And if you share this video with a friend or family member, you'll be spreading the gift of knowledge, and who knows, you might inspire someone else to take charge of their health too. Now, before we wrap up this segment, let's circle back to something I mentioned earlier, balance. While these foods are fantastic, they're just one piece of the puzzle. Longevity isn't about perfection. It's about making consistent, mindful choices that add up over time. Whether it's swapping chips for nuts, adding spinach to your smoothie, or trying a new recipe with beans, each step you take brings you closer to feeling your best. In the next part, we'll dive into the final food on our list, one that might raise a few eyebrows but is absolutely worth considering. We'll also talk about how to create a sustainable eating plan that works for your lifestyle and preferences. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Stick around and let's keep building that roadmap to a vibrant, fulfilling life. Let's keep this conversation going, shall we? We've already covered some incredible foods: berries, nuts, leafy greens, beans, and fatty fish. Each one brings something unique to the table, quite literally, and together they form a foundation for a diet that supports longevity. But now it's time to introduce the final food on our list, one that might surprise you. Are you ready? It's dark chocolate. Yes, you heard me right. Dark chocolate isn't just a treat, it's actually good for you when enjoyed in moderation. Now, I'm not talking about the sugary milk chocolate bars you might find in the checkout aisle. I'm talking about high-quality dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa content. This type of chocolate is rich in antioxidants, particularly flavonoids, which are the same compounds we talked about earlier in berries. These antioxidants help protect your cells, improve blood flow, and even support brain health. But here's the real magic. Studies suggest that people who regularly consume small amounts of dark chocolate have a lower risk of heart disease and may even experience improvements in mood and cognitive function. Who wouldn't want that? After all, staying sharp and feeling happy are two things we all value as we age. Now, before you run off to stock up on chocolate bars, let's talk about how to enjoy it responsibly. A square or two after dinner is plenty, just enough to satisfy your sweet tooth without overdoing it. You can also pair it with some fresh fruit, like strawberries or orange slices, for a dessert that feels indulgent but is still packed with nutrients. Or try melting a small piece into your morning coffee for a decadent twist on your usual cup. Trust me, it's a game changer. Here's a little story to illustrate the power of dark chocolate. I once met a woman in her late 60s who credited her love of dark chocolate with helping her stay positive during a challenging time in her life. She told me, "Every evening I sit down with a piece of dark chocolate and a cup of tea, and it's my moment of peace. It's not just the taste, it's the ritual that makes me feel alive." That's the beauty of food. It's not just about nourishment, it's about connection and joy too. So, as we think about incorporating dark chocolate into our diets, remember that it's not just about what we eat, it's about how we eat. Savoring each bite, taking the time to truly enjoy it, can make all the difference. And speaking of enjoyment, I'd love to encourage you to share this video if you're finding it helpful. When you share content like this, you're spreading positivity and practical advice that could inspire someone else to take better care of themselves. Plus, it helps our community grow, and that's something we can all feel good about. All right, now that we've rounded out our list of top 5 foods for longevity, let's zoom out a bit and talk about how to bring it all together. Because while individual foods are important, it's the overall pattern of eating that really matters. Think of it like building a house. Each food is a brick, but it's the way you stack them that creates a strong, stable structure. One approach that works well for many people is the Mediterranean diet. If you're unfamiliar with it, this style of eating emphasizes whole, minimally processed foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and lean proteins like fish and legumes. It's flexible, flavorful, and easy to adapt to your tastes and preferences. Research shows that following a Mediterranean-style diet is associated with a longer lifespan, better heart health, and a reduced risk of chronic diseases. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't require deprivation. Instead, it focuses on abundance, filling your plate with colorful, nutrient-dense foods that leave you feeling satisfied and energized. For example, imagine starting your day with a bowl of oatmeal topped with fresh berries and a sprinkle of nuts. Lunch could be a hearty salad loaded with leafy greens, chickpeas, roasted veggies, and a drizzle of olive oil. Dinner might feature grilled salmon alongside quinoa and steamed broccoli. And for dessert, a square of dark chocolate, of course. Doesn't that sound delicious? The key is to focus on progress, not perfection. Maybe you start by swapping white rice for brown rice or adding an extra serving of vegetables to your meals. Over time, these small changes add up, creating habits that support your long-term health. Before we move on to the final segment, let's pause for a moment of reflection. Take a deep breath and think about one thing you've learned so far that resonates with you. Is it the idea of savoring dark chocolate? The simplicity of adding more greens to your plate? Whatever it is, hold onto that thought. Change starts with awareness, and every step you take toward healthier eating is a victory worth celebrating. In the next part, we'll wrap things up by summarizing everything we've discussed and offering some actionable takeaways you can implement right away. We'll also touch on the importance of balance, not just in your diet but in your lifestyle as a whole. So stick around because the best is yet to come. Let's finish strong. As we come to the final stretch of our conversation, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered so far. We started with berries, those tiny, colorful gems packed with antioxidants that protect your cells and support brain health. Then we moved on to nuts, those crunchy, satisfying snacks that are rich in healthy fats and keep your heart ticking strong. From there, we explored leafy greens, the nutrient-dense powerhouses that fuel your body and mind. Next came beans, the humble legumes that quietly work wonders for your gut, heart, and energy levels. And finally, we celebrated dark chocolate, the indulgent yet nutritious treat that proves healthy eating doesn't have to be boring. Each of these foods brings something special to the table, but together they form a symphony of nutrients that can help you live longer and better. It's not about perfection, it's about making small, consistent choices that add up over time. And now, as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with some practical takeaways to help you put all of this into action. First, start small. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Pick one food from our list. Maybe it's adding a handful of berries to your breakfast or swapping chips for nuts as a snack, and focus on making that change stick. Once it becomes a habit, you can layer in another. Remember, progress is a journey, not a race. Second, prioritize variety. Think of your plate as a canvas and aim to fill it with a rainbow of colors. Berries bring vibrant reds and purples, leafy greens add depth, beans provide earthy tones, and nuts offer texture. Dark chocolates. That's your finishing touch, the brushstroke that ties it all together. Variety not only makes meals more exciting, but also ensures you're getting a wide range of nutrients. Third, embrace balance. While food plays a huge role in longevity, it's just one piece of the puzzle. Staying active, managing stress, nurturing relationships, and getting enough sleep are equally important. As the ancient Greek physician Hippocrates once said, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food." But he also understood that true health comes from a holistic approach, one that nourishes both body and soul. Now, before we close, I want to share a personal story that illustrates the power of these principles. A few years ago, I met a woman named Margaret who was in her early 70s. She had always been active, but after retiring, she noticed her energy levels dipping. Determined to feel her best, she began incorporating more whole, nutrient-dense foods into her diet: berries at breakfast, salads loaded with greens for lunch, and salmon with roasted veggies for dinner. She even started treating herself to a square of dark chocolate each evening. Over time, she noticed subtle but profound changes. She had more stamina, her skin glowed, and she felt sharper mentally. Most importantly, she told me, "I feel like myself again." Margaret's story reminds us that it's never too late to make positive changes. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, every day is an opportunity to invest in your health and happiness. And speaking of opportunities, if you found value in this video series, I'd love to invite you to join our community by subscribing to the channel. When you subscribe, you'll get access to more tips, stories, and inspiration to help you thrive at any age. Plus, if you hit that like button and share this video with a friend, you'll be spreading the gift of knowledge, and that's something we can all feel good about. As we bring this series to a close, I want to leave you with one final thought. Longevity isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. It's about waking up each morning with purpose, savoring the moments that matter, and feeling strong enough to chase your dreams, no matter how big or small. So here's my challenge to you. Take one step today, just one, that moves you closer to the vibrant, fulfilling life you deserve. Maybe it's trying a new recipe, taking a walk outside, or simply sitting down to enjoy a piece of dark chocolate without distractions. Whatever it is, do it with intention and gratitude. Thank you for spending this time with me. Your presence here means the world, and I'm honored to be part of your journey toward health and happiness. If you have questions, thoughts, or ideas for future videos, please drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, remember, the best is yet to come. Here's to living long, living well, and embracing every moment along the way.